champions.
We are entering what I believe is called crunch time in the WSL, with 3 games remaining, 3 teams still in the hunt.
Five-year rivals in North London. New season, new expectations. Well, here we go. A dagger in Arsenal hearts.
What a title race we're going to have this season.
The keeper's made a terrible mistake and Arsenal have won it.
Is this going to be a smash and grab for Brighton?
It's Bethmead. They go level on points with Chelsea.
This could be so very costly for Arsenal. How about this? West Ham United lead 2-1. Chelsea lose at home in the Women's Super League.
The reigning champions stay in control of the title race.
Arsenal secured a Champions League spot next season with their win against Leicester last time out. But they want more than a bronze medal, and as long as it's mathematically still possible, they'll continue the fight for top spot today. And it's a slightly different story for their opponents. Everton sit 9th in the league, and with only 1 win in 9 WSL home games this season, can they finally give their fans something to shout about today? It's Everton versus Arsenal from a sold-out Wharton Hall Park, and kickoff is in 15 minutes' time. Welcome to my guest today, Farah Williams, and our very own dancing queen, Anita Asante. Anita, just want to point out, you've got some moves. Talk us through what was going on here.
Well, you know what? I just had to give the people what they want, Alex. You know, just throwing my hips a little bit. Well, this was for the FA Cup celebration, to celebrate, you know, the women's football community and obviously the magic of the cup. And so, you know, I got to represent a trench hero coat.
Well, Nita, you can continue those dance moves because the Women's Cup final is now announced that it's been sold out.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, it's going to be a huge occasion at Wembley to have a sold-out crowd and all the atmosphere. 2 new, you know, 2 potential, a new winner actually of the FA Cup final is super special.
And we'll be wanting more moves from you come May, okay? Let's get back to the game today. Let's talk about Arsenal, because when they're still mathematically in the race, but realistically, do you think their chances of silverware is over?
I think it's really slim for Arsenal. I don't see Chelsea or Man City slipping up, and you know, no team has lost more than 2 games in the league and won the title. And I just think they've missed so many opportunities to get themselves in a stronger position than they have right now.
Farah, Everton, one of your old clubs, they've had a lot of injuries this season to contend with. How do you assess Brian Sorensen and what he's managed to do with his team?
It's difficult, obviously, being a former player. You know, the expectations I have of Everton are probably a lot bigger than other people's. And, you know, they're a team that over the years, Alex, have competed, you know, with the likes of Arsenal and Chelsea over the years. And so they had a fantastic season last year. They started to identify a style of play that was attractive, playing out from the back, and suited them. But at this stage of the season, they're 10 points off the same stage they were last year. So I think disappointing. They've got a big squad. I felt like, you know, some of the results that they lost, in my opinion, they should have won those games.
Well, Farah, I've got a quick stat for you, actually, because the last time Everton avoided defeat to Arsenal was back in 2012. Yes, Farah. Not only were you playing, you actually were on the score sheet.
There you go. Yes. I don't doubt myself.
You had Lucy Bronze, Jordan Nobbs, and actually the only player that still managed to play in this fixture was on the score sheet, Kim Little for Arsenal. Wow. There you go. Right, let's have a look at how both teams are lining up today. OK, you've got 3 changes to the side that beat Brighton last time out for Everton. Bissell, Pymont and Karen Holmgard all recalled to the starting lineup. Everton's top goal scorer, Katia Snoy, starts up front today, having scored against Arsenal when these 2 teams last met. And it's the same starting 11 that faced Leicester at the Emirates last weekend for Arsenal. Alessia Russo leads the line for the Gunners. She's currently enjoying a good run of form, having scored 3 goals in her last 2 appearances. And it's great to see Frida Marnham back on the bench for the 2nd consecutive game, having been stretchered off in that Continental League Cup final in March. Well, in a year that's seen the Gunners plagued with injuries, someone who has been a constant presence in Arsenal's lineup is, of course, Katie McCabe, and she's been speaking with Ellen Ellard.
Well, yeah, great to have the Republic of Ireland international with us. Katie, it's been a bit of a different season for you. You've been deployed all over the pitch with the injuries that the team suffered. How much have you enjoyed the challenge?
That's a regular season for me. Now, look, for me, I'll always play anywhere the manager wants me to, and always give it my absolute best. And yeah, it's obviously unfortunate we pick up injuries, but that's part and parcel of football. But it's up to us. To really stand up, and I think this part of the season we've been really good, and we've got some important wins, and we're looking to finish the season on a high now.
This is a club that's always hungry for more. You've added to your trophy cabinet this season, guaranteed Champions League football. Do you expect more as a club? Do you want more?
Yeah, of course. I think if you take it right back to the start of the season, we were really disappointed in how we started off. Champions League being one of them, and then obviously the loss against Liverpool at the start. But yeah, look, we didn't let that define us. It was obviously a long way to go, and we made sure to kind of get to work and really knuckle down. And of course, obviously the Conti Cup win, we want to win silverware. But yeah, we'll be definitely striving for more next season. But it's important to finish the season as best as possible.
Brilliant. Thank you, Katie. Best of luck for today.
Thank you.
Always great to hear from Katie McCabe there. Started 29 of the 30 games for Arsenal this season. Farah, I know you've always been a big fan and a friend of Katie. When you think about her positionings this season, what is her best position?
For me, it's off the left or the right in those advanced positions. I think if you look back to her performances last year, she was phenomenal. I think she was a big, part in, helping Arsenal get back to the top. She had goals, she had assists, and she got Player of the Year. And then to come into this season, play left back, right back, sometimes left midfield, sometimes right. I think it's disruptor. I think you want that consistency, you want that flow, and I think she had that last year, and I don't think she's been given that this year, having been the best player for them last year. So for me, it's in more advanced positions. We see her play there for the national team. She's different to what they have. She's so aggressive with and without the ball. They have a lot of tiki-taka type players that like to get on the ball in little pockets. She's not. She's direct, aggressive, and something that when Arsenal are playing well, because of that difference, it actually makes them a better team in my opinion.
What has been the problem for you, Anita, with Arsenal this season overall then?
Well, I think it's the lack of clinicalness in front of goal. They create chances, they are able to penetrate through teams and get themselves in advanced positions, but it's having the composure and the good decision making in those situations where they can actually score goals. And they'll look back at some of those results, like against West Ham, against Tottenham and Liverpool, and they don't want to look back on this season and be kicking themselves that they didn't get the results in those matches.
I think, Farah, for Arsenal to be shouting about this season, though, is their home attendances at the Emirates, averaging 52,000. They've really set the bar and the standard.
It's been phenomenal, and we've known over the years they've always set the pace, they've always set the trends within the women's game. To have an average attendance over the 6 games of 52,000 is phenomenal. Other teams have to follow. Now the question is, can they do that more regularly next season? I'm sure they can. As Anita said, they play attractive football. The disappointing thing for Arsenal this year is they don't convert. If you look at the stats, and I'm not a stats person, Alex, but they've created the most amount of chances in front of goal. So if they was to turn those into conversion, they'd probably be sitting top of the league, because that's what Manchester City and Chelsea have done better than them this year.
Well, something for them to be working on. Right, let's get back over to Ellen, who's been speaking to both of the managers.
Is this a season that you'll look back on positively?
I think no matter what from a season, there will always be things that you will look back from positively, and there will be negative things that you need to do better, and that's never going to change. No matter how many trophies you win, your job is always to try and look and see what do we do well, so we need to continue doing that, and what can we do better, and obviously we need to change that for next season.
Away from home today, but one of the real positives from the club and the team this season has been the attendances at the Emirates. How much of that is a target for next season as well, to really grow what you've built there?
Like you're saying, our fans, they've been phenomenal the whole season, not only at the Emirates, but also in all our away games. I'm sure they will be here today as well. And they're an incredibly important part of the journey that we're doing with the team and with the club.
How much of a challenge does this Arsenal team pose?
I think they're in a good rhythm right now. They play a bit with a little more floativity in how they've been doing before. So yeah, it's gonna be a big test. We need to be at our very best. That's for sure.
The Holmgaard twins in the starting 11. Sarah assisted Karen's goal last time out. It's the second time they've linked up in that way this season. Just how good is it to have those two in form?
Yeah, as you said, the 2 times they actually played together for 30 minutes, they scored. So now they will at least get 60. Let's hope that it'll give a couple of goals.
Yeah, well, it's a family affair at Everton this season, both in the starting lineup. Anita, what do they bring to this Everton side?
Well, I think you've got the twin powers of Sarah Holmgaard and her sister Karen. They have the ability to find each other, is what you found. That, great deliveries from set pieces, but also just the ability for Sarah Holmgaard in those attacking situations to just pick out her sister, who she knows has that aerial strength as well.
They talk about Alex being telepathic. When they've done interviews, this season, they talk about they have that telepathic connection. They haven't played enough on the pitch together in order to produce what they have here. You heard the manager, Sorensen, say there that in the 2 games that they have, they've been able to score. So maybe both being on the pitch, I think it might be the first time this season starting.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll see what they can produce.
And Farah, they really need to start making this place a fortress because they struggle to pick up wins here.
They do, and as I said, Everton, historically over the years have been the teams like Arsenal and Chelsea and the big teams haven't wanted to come away to and play. They've not been, they've made it ugly, they've made it horrible, and it's changed a little bit, but they need to find that. It's something that, in my opinion, they need to find because they need to be fighting again at the top.
Yeah, I agree. I think, every team comes here should be thinking, this is not a place I want to come to. It's difficult to play here. They're hard to beat. They're robust. They make it difficult. And they need to find that kind of identity again.
Well, can Everton give their fans something to be shouting about today? Let's get you over to our commentary team. A former Evertonian, a former Toffee herself. It is Lindsay Johnson alongside Stephen Wire.
Alex, thank you. Hello, good afternoon, everybody. The identity of WSL's top 3, that has been established. The order in which they will finish, well, that is still very much to be determined. With grounds to make up and favours required, Arsenal are the outsider of the trio, but a run of 3 successive wins, a timely late-season reminder not to discount them. As for Everton, well, they still have position and the associated prides to play for. However, if 9th is to be transformed into something more respectable, a change in home fortunes is required. Well, sympathy with Brian Sorensen, whose list of Everton absentees is so long he needed to jot them down. 3 changes from the win at Brighton, all enforced. In come Karen Holmgaard for just a 4th league start of the season. Martina Pigamonte and Emma Bissell. Gally, Benison and Kuhl are the unavailable trio. The Everton bench includes 3 16-year-olds. As for Arsenal, they know all about injuries this season, but are reaching the conclusion in ruder health. Indeed, Jonas Eidevall has the luxury of naming an unchanged side from the win over Leicester. Beth Mead has scored twice in each of the last 2 games. Alicia Russo is the Gunners' leading scorer in WSL and is just 1 shy of 10 for the season. Well, Lindsay, who are we keeping a particularly close eye on this afternoon?
Hi, Steve. Yeah, I think for Everton today, I'd like to highlight Megan Finnegan, centre-half for Everton today. Arguably one of Everton's most consistent players this season. I think she's really versatile for a centre-half. Really good 1v1 defender. Likes to play out from the back. A good ball player, and today she's going to have to be up to speed because she's going to have a tough game against the likes of Stina Blackstenius for Arsenal, who I'd also like to highlight today. Obviously, she's leading the line for Arsenal. Pace, power, good aerially. So I think Megan Finnegan and Blackstenius are going to have a real good battle today, and I think that'll be a good competition to watch out for.
Well, can Arsenal take advantage of a patched-up Everton starting lineup? Phoebe Cross is the referee in charge at Walton Hall Park. Jonas Eidevall would love to still be in mathematical contention for a title challenge after today. The 4th successive Arsenal win. At least keep that possible. As for Everton, well, they could finish realistically as high as 7th, but just 1 home win all season. Something about that is going to have to change today or when Tottenham visit next weekend. Well, don't be fooled by the white fluffy clouds and the blue sky. A position in the shade, most welcome on what is a very, very blustery and chilly Merseyside afternoon, as the players from both sides take an E to remind us that there is no place for discrimination in football or any walk of life. Well, it is Arsenal who get us underway in a fixture they have overwhelmingly dominated. A 2-1 success. Beth Mead's winner in the reverse fixture, a 16th successive win over Everton in WSL. You have got to go back nearly 13 years for the one and only time that Everton have won this fixture in the current top flight of women's football.
Yeah, that's something, Steve, that Everton need to change. It's a record to be broken, and it needs to be broken sooner rather than later if you're an Everton supporter.
Zinsberger has a little walk outside of her penalty area to try and get Arsenal moving for the first time. Catley alongside Williamson at the heart of the Arsenal defence. Immediately the Gunners looking menacing and creating an early opportunity, which is swallowed up by Courtney Brosnan.
It's a really good drive in the midfield from Palova. She plays a through ball into Ford on that right-hand side. Luckily for Everton, Brosnan's there to pick it up, but straight away you can see Arsenal's intent through that midfield drive and forward. We know how dangerous Palova is, and that's something Everton need to be aware of.
Well, Finnegan is the player who's providing the short option for Brosnan as Everton try and draw Arsenal towards them. Tactic that always brings with it the sense of jeopardy, but the rewards can also be beneficial.
And I think Everton have tried to do that. Definitely last season and this season, play out from the back. They're very good in possession. As you can see here, just playing out, but where they need to get better is in those attacking thirds, scoring more goals.
Little. 5 wins in the last 6 in WSL for Arsenal. They've put together a run of form at the end of the season, which has kept them on Manchester City and Chelsea's coattails. Williamson looking to boom one over the head of Sarah Holmsgaard. He was recovered well, and we'll have to get through an awful lot of work on that left-hand side for Everton today.
Yeah, good defending from Holmsgaard. Knew exactly where Blackstenius was. But no one's there to pick it up. Arsenal have recycled the ball. I think that's what we'll see a lot of today.
Blackstenius for Little. Looking to help it further wide to McCabe, and underplayed the pass. That's enabled Hope to get involved for Everton, but she's swiftly dispossessed.
You can just see here, Steve, that Everton are dropping off there. Not in a low block slot, that mid-block position, allowing Arsenal to have the ball at the back, trying to make it compact and make it hard for Arsenal to play through.
Catley for Palova. Have to remain and retain that level of organisation, Everton, if they are to keep Arsenal quiet. 3-0 win over Leicester most recently, put 5 past Bristol City the game before. Arsenal in these latter stages of the campaign, there's been a real fluidity about the way they've attacked.
And it's the players that they've got as well, Steve. They've got attacking options all over the pitch. Blackstenius and Russo both playing together as well, which is good to see from an Arsenal point of view.
Fox for Blackstenius. Palova. Back from McCabe. And then Palova darting into what looked like a space that was about to open up. Palova again the outlet for McCabe. Ford further wide. And an offside spotted. Caitlin Ford had just gone a little too early.
Yeah, really good organised defence from Everton there. Can see they're just really patient, really organised. And I think if you go back to that reverse fixture against Arsenal where they're frustrated, we just see here that the ball's played and Ford is just slightly offside on this left-hand side. the ball. I think if Belova just holds on to it too long.
Ford playing her 31st game of the season for Arsenal. She's been involved in every one in all competitions.
Consistent player for Arsenal and really influential in this wide position for Arsenal.
This is Van Hevermaet, who has started the game as part of the Everton defensive unit, has offered them a great deal of versatility in terms of the positions that she's able to take up. Having played on the left-hand side of the back three more often than not recently, that is where she has started this afternoon. Finnegan hoping she might be able to carry the ball forward. Russo closed down that particular avenue. Here is Des Wheeler. First involvement for Martina Piemonte, one of those added to the Everton starting lineup today. She's been chased back by Ford, but has shrugged off the challenge and found Bissell.
Good work from Everton. I think it was Snoyce in that midfield, dropped really deep to win that ball back and played it into Piemonte. Looked good on the counter, but Bissell decided to come back, didn't she? Kept with possession of the ball, which is really important for Everton.
Here's Finnegan, 150 appearances now in Everton colours. And Bissell has won the throw.
Bissell's trying to keep that width on this right-hand side, offering some support here for her.
And Hevermaet swapping passes with a goalkeeper and doing so again. Everton are certainly comfortable to try and lure Arsenal into traps they might be able to set.
Yeah, they're very good. Possession hasn't been Everton's issue this season. If you look at the stats, quite a lot of possession. It's going forward and getting shots at goal and shots on target, and obviously goals scored. They've scored the least amount of goals this season in the league.
Bissell asking a little too much of Piemonte to adjust her momentum.
Yeah, as I was saying, they have scored the least amount of goals this season along with West Ham. Something, an area that needs to be improved for this Everton side.
There's something to work upon during the off-season for Brian Sorensen, who recently agreed a new 2-year contract. He will be the Everton boss until 2026.
Yeah, and I think it's an announcement that is good to come at this part of the season. And Everton have been littered with lots of injuries. They've been unfortunate this season with the amount of injuries and illnesses they've got. And so hopefully, you know, next season they can have better luck in that respect.
And also with the tenacity and getting the ball out of play, making life difficult for Finnegan to bring it forward for Everton, who are having to satisfy themselves with playing the majority of the game thus far inside their own half.
And you look confident to do so, Everton, but like you mentioned before, Steve, it is high risk playing, you know, so deep, that possession football. But the wind is a factor today as well. If they're going to play it long, they've got to bear that in mind. Blustery day here at Walton Hall Park.
Finnegan into Snoyce, who's conceded possession and Little looking to capitalise. And Arsenal are in here and looking dangerous. And Blackstenius will reflect upon an opportunity that she perhaps should have taken. Brosnan with the save.
Really good save by Brosnan. She had to make it. She had to come off a line and just smother that chance out. We can see it here. Quick play around the area, and it's Ford who just plays it in marginally. Is she offside, Blackstenius, as hard, or is she level? But she runs on the back shoulder, the Everton back line, but Brosnan has to come out and close it down, and she does so ever so well.
Arsenal with the first corner kick of the game. First test in fact of those blustery conditions, and Brosnan sees one swirling towards her and judges it well.
Yeah, good start from Brosnan. It's always good for a keeper to make a save like that in the opening minutes of a game. It gives her confidence. But Blackstonians, for me, could she have lifted that as well? You could see Brosnan coming off the line, maybe just a little chip over the keeper.
Finnegan being closed down by Ford, and that's living dangerously from an Everton point of view, and a corner has been conceded unnecessarily.
For me, in those positions, it's always difficult when the centre-half and the goalkeeper are going back, kind of playing a 1-2. You're just encouraging the Arsenal forward line to get close, and you can see the aggressive press there from Ford, and Finnegan just doesn't deal with it very well.
So Katie McCabe across to take this Arsenal corner. Swinging it in dangerously, and it flicked away off an Everton head and behind for another Arsenal set piece.
A good in-swinger there, wasn't it, from Katie McCabe? We know how dangerous she is with her set pieces. It's Piemonte who gets on the end of that, I think, and just flicks it over everybody else. Good defensive header in the end.
Just cranking up the pressure, Arsenal. Everton deal with the latest corner with minimum of fuss.
Organise again, organise again.
They just need to get organised again, Everton here, under a lot of pressure from Arsenal.
Get up, Sarah, get up, get up, get up. Good, good. Straight on, yes.
Williamson closed down by Snoyce, who got a crucial touch to the ball, and if the return from Holsgaard towards her had been better, then perhaps Everton would have been able to apply some pressure of their own.
Really good pressure, wasn't it, from Snoyce? We've seen her all season do that. She's been a lone striker at time, and it's a lot of hard work. But just that ball from Holmsgaard, just not good enough. See here, just a challenge from Holmsgaard. Good, healthy challenge, that's what you want.
Holmsgaard winning it back for Everton. They would really love a little bit of a spell in possession of the ball somewhere other than the edge of their own penalty area.
Yeah, they're playing a lot of their football on the edge of the 18-yard, the edge of their own 18-yard box. And in this wind as well, it's going into their face. It can be quite risky, but they're carrying on doing it. It's obviously a game plan from Brian Sorensen today.
Stenedic just looks up and sees red shirts swarming all around her. Twisting and turning away from Fox. And Arsenal ready to pounce whenever the opportunity presents itself. Little. Ford. And Hevermat for company. Kim Little. Fox for Mead. Russo. Way by Van Hevermat, it might not be for long.
Just overplaying at the back, Everton, and they're just constantly under pressure because they're not putting their foot through the ball when the opportunity arises.
Getting inside, follow. Tidy up. Good, next one.
Williamson. Little. McCabe for Ford. Taking on Hope. Well, Lucy Hope really thought that hers was not the final touch. She was anticipating goal kick rather than corner.
It did look like it come off Lucy Hope. I thought she defended really well, but obviously she didn't think she got the last touch. You can see here just Ford going at it with Hope, and it just comes off her shins to go out for a corner. Good marshalling from Lucy Hope, but definitely a corner.
Yeah, good.
North of 100 WSL apps now for Lucy Hope.
First contact!
McCabe's corner. Snoice away.
Organize, catch you.
Little. Russo is in there. Stinius loitering with intent, and Arsenal have yet another corner.
Yeah, Megan Finnegan's not happy with her forward play. She's asking for more pressure on the ball to limit those balls in the box from the likes of Kim Little. I was thinking as well, could Courtney Brosnan have given her a shout then and let it go out for a goal kick? Another corner for Everton to defend here.
McCabe delivers. Brosnan's trying to get there and couldn't. Needed some assistance, but Everton just simply cannot get out. McCabe. A return towards Caitlin Ford, though, with a little too much juice.
Yeah, so Everton they're playing really deep as well, and I think they're encouraging that from Arsenal. They're playing out from the back, which I know is the Everton way. They want to play that possession-based football, but they've got to read the game as well. At times it's got to go. Arsenal have got that high press, the likes of Russo and Blackstenius playing really hard. You can see them here on the edge of the 18-yard box as well.
The conditions most certainly a factor. Very blustery, and it is blowing fiercely in the face of the Everton defenders. The pressure from Arsenal is not the only thing that they are trying to resist.
And now you can see the Everton players are trying to get up that pitch. They need to stay compact as well and make it difficult for Arsenal to play through. Hope
for Bissell. Over to drive at the Arsenal defence. This is Karen Holmsgaard. Bissell. And it's off Catley for a corner. Some Everton pressure finally, and it has at least produced a set piece in their favour.
And that's the first time we saw Everton putting on a press higher up the pitch, putting Arsenal under some pressure, and it pays off. They realised there was some gaps on this right-hand side where they're able to get that corner. And they've got dangerous players from set pieces. Van Havermaet, Meg Finnegan, all dangerous in the air if they can get a good quality set piece.
It's the kind of opportunities that Brian Sorensen will have been preparing his side for. Here is the first Everton corner of the game to be delivered by Sarah Holmsgaard. Gone deep with it. And the crossbar has been rattled, and the rebound ends up being bundled wide. Everton having soaked up so much pressure, close to taking the lead through Van Havermaet.
Really good delivery on this left-hand side from Holmsgaard in the back post, and I think it's Megan Finnegan who gets on the end of that, hits the crossbar, and then it doesn't drop well enough for Van Havermaet, who's following in, I think. There, she just gets ahead to it and heads it wide. But Finnegan rises so high. I think it was Holmsgaard, sorry, on the end of her sister's delivery there. That telepathic connection.
Well, there was a combination that worked in reverse against Brighton for one of the Everton goals, but now they've got defending to worry about again. In towards Braxtinius, whose contact wasn't good enough. Otherwise, that was a save that would have been required again from Brosnan.
Really quick counter from Arsenal on that right-hand side, and the ball just whipped across everybody. No one could get on the end of it.
Bounce of the ball takes it beyond the reach of Ford, but Arsenal once again carving open an opportunity for themselves.
Yeah, and we can see on this right-hand side, Emily Fox puts that really good ball in. Goes past everybody in the box. She looks up, you can see Emily Fox looks up, aiming for Blackstenius. Just misses it.
Little.
Come on, energy into what we do.
Williamson.
Sarah, get up,
Imagine patience is a virtue that will be required of Arsenal today, and maybe they're in again here. Blackstenius! Well, this time does lift the ball over the goalkeeper, but off target, albeit from an offside position, would not have mattered.
Yeah, again, that from that midfield position, Palova, she's so good at driving forward and looking for those forward passes into the box. Blackstenius on the back shoulder, definitely offside. Does try and lift it across over Brosnan that time, but offside.
Wheeler back into the feet of Stenovic, who has to settle for a throw.
Now, we've seen it 2 or 3 times now. Palova driving in that midfield area, is looking for those runs on the back shoulder of the Everton defenders. Everton's midfield need to pick Palova up, not allow her that time and space to do that. Everton have managed to do, Steve, as well, as keep players like Beth Mead quite quiet. We've not really seen her at all in the game so far.
That's when she becomes dangerous.
Definitely, I was just thinking, commentators' curves.
Forward is Russo. 3 goals in the last 2 games in WSL, looking to turn provider this time. Cave's throw. Blackstenius. Here's Catley. Back from Williamson. Now needs an alternative option. Little provides it.
You can see this low block that Everton are playing. They've got all 11 players behind the ball, defending their 18-yard box.
Off the head of Stenovic, but only deflecting it into the path of Fox. He couldn't get to the ball again. Wheeler, this time has it taken away from her. Blackstenius. Mead is there. Blackstenius once more. Surely this time Ford didn't make the required contact.
She should have done better. She'll be disappointed that she doesn't make a real connection with that. Ford, she was free, no one was picking her up. Everton fortunate that she miscued that.
Williamson waited beautifully for Ford. McCabe. Way off the head of Finnegan. Little looking to keep Arsenal on the front foot. They don't get the corner they were hoping for.
And what it looks like for me, Steve, is Everton are happy to play this low block, which is, you know, fine, they're organised. But when they're in possession, we just go back to this replay here. You can see the pressure, and here Blackstenius just pulls the ball back, and I think Ford has a lot more time than she realises. Takes a swing and just takes her eye off the ball and misses it. She'll be very disappointed she doesn't make real connection with that.
That was the third of 3 very good Arsenal chances. Everton will be hoping, though, that Courtney Brosnan, who's already made 1 good save to prevent United of our side from scoring, is not got an issue here that's going to prevent her continuing in the game. It's an opportunity for the rest of the players to get some refreshment.
Yeah, hopefully Brosnan's going to be okay, and I think they use this, don't they, sometimes. I'm not saying Brosnan's done this on purpose, but You know, they use it just for a little bit of downtime, get some information on board. But as I was just saying before, it's all well and good playing this low block for Everton. They're frustrating Arsenal. But what I think the issue is for Everton is when they do win possession back of the ball, we can just see here again this chance that falls to Ford here. Look at the amount of time she's got. There's no one picking her up. And she takes a swing at it. She'll be really disappointed, like I said before, that she didn't just compose herself, try and connect with that better. But then Everton, when they do win the ball back, they're then trying to play possession football with Arsenal players so close to them, and they're able to aggressively press and win that ball back. It's dangerous from an Everton point of view.
Well, she's started the last 18 now in WSL, Courtney Brosnan. This is her second season as very much Everton's first choice goalkeeper, and was particularly excellent recently against Manchester United, albeit in a game that Everton lost by 4-1. It might have been even heavier, the defeat, but for her.
Yeah, I think Courtney Brosnan, for me, has been one of Everton's most consistent players. She's definitely grew in her time at the club. Obviously, plays for Ireland as well. Just seen the chance for Everton here, and it is Holmesgaard who's able to jump highest. Hits the crossbar, but Van Haverman, you can just see, as she's coming back down from that jump, just can't extend her neck long enough to then connect with the ball.
Well, Holmesgaard so very nearly adding to the goal she scored against Brighton last time out for Everton. That one too. That chance created by twin sister Sarah didn't quite work out as planned on that occasion, but it's clearly an avenue towards goal-scoring opportunities that Everton will be looking to utilise despite the Arsenal chances. It is Everton who have come the closest to scoring.
And that will give Everton confidence as well. Obviously, possession-wise, it won't look good for them, but it's goals what count. Not seen one yet, though, Steve.
Wheeler. Here comes Sarah Holmesgaard with a little bit of space to operate in, and options ahead of her. Emma Bissell providing the width. Yeah, Monte, the cross is beyond her reach. Holmesgaard was arriving just beyond, and then Hope struck it goalwards, but only straight at Little.
Really good switch of ball, such a play there from Everton, and Bissell looking to try and get the ball into the box. Arsenal able to defend, but a little bit of possession for Everton here.
Karen Holmesgaard eased aside by Little. Palova taking over. Russo getting involved as well, and with no advantage to be gained for Arsenal. Back we come for the free kick.
Yeah, Everton giving away that free kick there. Unfortunate for them, but just in that midfield area, do you think Arsenal are very strong there with Kim Little and Palova? The moment winning that midfield battle for me.
Williamson into Mead. Palova. Bond's trying to return the pass. Instead, it finds its way to Beth Mead. McCabe for Ford. Against Hope. The beating of Lucy Hope. Pulled the ball back behind the available targets in the middle there for Arsenal. Mead helping it on, Palova. And a shrug off Wheeler. Finnegan away. It's a job that Sarah Holmesgaard will need to try and complete with some help from Stinovic.
Desperate defending at times from Everton in that 18-yard box. Doing a job at the moment, but how long can you keep that up for? It's not only physically exhausting, but mentally exhausting as well.
Russo. Trying to find Mead. Sarah Holmesgaard away. Piemonte in pursuit. And trying to make life difficult for Williamson.
Piemonte's asking, telling her players to come with her. She wants those gaps reduced if she's going to start that press. She wants the rest of the team to go with her.
Blackstenius successfully chased down the ball, but couldn't then bring it under her control.
A really heavy touch from Blackstenius, wasn't it, with her left foot? And it's really difficult. The wind is playing a massive part in this game. It's really blustery here. Disappointed with that touch, Blackstenius.
Aaron Holmsgaard for Bissell. And the Italian international, Martina Piemonte.
Really strong player, Piemonte, powerful, can hold the ball up well.
Has been used as a substitute more often than as a starter in WSL this season by Brian Sorensen. But needs must today with so many players missing through injury.
Piemonte, such an experienced player as well. Really good to have on the pitch, but I think in a game like today, there's a lot of work for her to do. If she can hold that ball up and bring other players into play, that's what Brian Sorensen will want her to do.
Piemonte using her strength to great effect there to shrug Victoria Pelova aside. By Finnegan. Piemonte again, but it took three to get the better of her. Little is the one who comes up in possession. Here's Ford. Blackstenius makes her move and then had to try and improvise to turn the effort goalwards.
Relentless from Arsenal, isn't it? They recycle the ball and go again.
Ford. Russo gave her the option. Just a revolution or two too many on the pass. Well, sympathies with Brian Sorensen from Everton's position of players available. And it is very much a case of the next generation on the bench for them, with so many senior players unavailable. There are 3 16-year-olds amongst the substitutes today. Izzy Hobson and Macy Settle. Ellie Jones, the other who's yet to make her debut in the first team squad for the first time today. 2 of those 3 are Everton fans who've come through the academy.
And it tells you, doesn't it, what struggles they've had with injuries this season. But if you look at the positives from that as well, I know when I played at Everton, we had lots of 16-year-olds, the likes of some names you might have heard of: Alex Greenwood, Tony Duggan, Nikita Paris.
Offside flag up against Stina Blackstenius, and Arsenal's frustrations continue. Utterly dominant in terms of territory and possession, but still with a 0 next to their name as well as Everton's.
And that's what Everton will be trying to do. You know, stay in the game as much as possible, which they have done. Frustrate Arsenal, they have done. And try and be dangerous on the counter, which we have seen a real opportunity earlier in the game.
Something a bit more direct from Van Hevermaet to find Piemonte. Maybe a change in mindset for Everton as this first half takes into its final 12 minutes.
I think that's what was needed at the time. Everton's backline were holding on to that ball too long, trying to play it along the backline. Looking for those passes forward is much better outlet at times for Everton.
Ford's touch took her away from Hope, but into the space occupied by Van Hevermaet, helped on by Holmgaard towards Snoyce, who has so far been frustrated of opportunities to get involved. Mead momentarily swapped jobs with Fox to enable the US international to come in field. Pelova, Mead, Pelova. Better this from Arsenal, moving the ball with a bit more intensity. Fox wasn't able to get the cross away, but it will be a corner kick.
Yeah, and I was just thinking as well, We haven't seen as many overlapping runs as we used to from Emily Fox. You know how good she is at getting forward, but there we could see her on that right-hand side, getting forward, tries to cut the ball back with really good defending from Everton. Got to defend another corner though.
McCabe does have Mead as a short option, and that's one that she utilises. Fox. Overcooking the delivery, but Arsenal clearly deciding with the conditions as they are to try something different from the set piece.
And you've got to then think about the wind, haven't you? Because if you're going to play that long ball, particularly Arsenal, who are playing with the wind behind them in this first half, you've got to take something off it. They've got to play the ball on the floor.
Well, plenty of Arsenal fans getting out of their cars at the same time as I was earlier, adding to the capacity crowd here, and they are back in the Northwest next weekend for a live game we have for you on BBC One from 2:15. Manchester City, their next destination. What an important game that could yet prove to be, albeit they need the points against Everton first.
They do, and they're struggling at the moment. That was really intelligent play by Snoyce there. She knew that Fox was on her back shoulder. She just had a deft touch in front of her and was well aware that Fox was on her back shoulder. Really intelligent from her. Gives her Everton a little bit of a breather, get into position, get it higher up the pitch.
Well, considering Everton finished 6th themselves last season, it's those sides in the top half of the table, the top 6, that they have struggled the most against this season, not been able to compete with them as often as they would like. Winless in the last 9 such encounters, and they've lost 7 of them. There has just been that little bit of a drop-off from a year ago for Everton in WSL. Albeit, there were 1 or 2 predicting at the start of the season that they would struggle more than they have, and their position in mid-table is one of certain respectability, and it yet could improve before the conclusion.
And Brian Sorensen will want it to improve, obviously. They want as many points as he can from these remaining games, but I do agree, you know, with Farah at the start of the show, that it's disappointing. They finished 6th last season, Everton. I was really hoping that they could push on from that, but unfortunately they just have struggled with the injuries they've got.
Ever played with twins, Lindsay? Ever had to deal with the identity issues?
I did, yes. The Jones twins, Vicky and Kelly, Everton. You get used to it. There's something that you pick up. Something, I can't tell you what.
Here is one of the Holmesgaard siblings, both in the starting lineup, Karen and Sarah today. And they have combined for the one chance of note that Everton have created. Piemonte has grown in terms of her influence in the game and has won Everton a free kick there.
Looks like Piemonte definitely dropping deeper, isn't she, to get on that ball. And Arsenal are then struggling to win that 1v1 battle. She's so strong and powerful on the ball and so good at using her body. Good at winning free kicks as well. Most Italians are.
Wheeler, Hope, Snoyce, not necessarily in the area of the field that she would like to be doing her business, but needs must. Piemonte suddenly bursting forward. She's got Snoyce available, demanding the pass, but uses Holmesgaard instead.
Snoyce is having to do a lot of work off the ball. Always difficult, that position out wide or in that number 9 position where we see her play.
And Havermont was trying to find Karen Holmesgaard. Instead, here come Arsenal again with Russo.
Another player's been very quiet today, Russo. Not seen much of the ball at all. Credit to Everton. Really compact in that central area, trying to reduce those balls into the likes of Russo.
Yet none of the Arsenal chances so far have come the way of their leading scorer in WSL, Alessia Russo. McKay. On the ball, burst between her pair of Everton players and hurt as a result. Bissell and Hope it was who were standing their ground.
I think it looks like she might have banged heads. Here, there she does. With Bissell. Good doubling up by Everton. No malice in there. I think it's just coming together, two players competitively going for the ball.
How will Jonas feel about Arsenal's season? The silverware in the cabinet, the second successive Conti Cup, but out of the Champions League early and not as close to a serious challenge for the title as I'm sure he would have liked to have been at this stage of the season.
Although he won't openly say it, I think there's got to be an element of disappointment there that they haven't gone on and got closer to City and Chelsea. Obviously those 4 losses has really, in the league, has made them pull away from the others, so I think he will be a little bit disappointed. And going out so early in the Champions League was a surprise for Arsenal.
Given away to Mead. Arsenal still, though, with the chance to finish higher than the 3rd place they finished in last season. Here's Little. Couldn't get a shot away cleanly. It was Van Hevermaet in the way. Forward for Little. Goes down by Karen Holmsgaard. Williamson for Fox. Palova. Away by Finnegan. Stenovic with a clearance up towards Piemonte. She couldn't get on the end of it, and here come Arsenal again. It's Hope clearing, but only as far as Little. Wheeler poking the ball. Not as far clear as Everton would have liked. Instead, here's Mead. Fox for Williamson. And Finnegan, maybe the conditions contributing to making that clearance a lot more difficult than it should have been.
From me there, Brosnan's got it. She can see everything in front of her. She can see she's got the time and space to come and get that. I think she could have come out and helped her centre half there, but snatching it, didn't she, Megan Finnegan? And in these conditions, can go anywhere.
She'll be livid if Arsenal score from this set piece, which is delivered by McCabe. It's a good one again. It's a real scramble, and Arsenal will have another corner at the end of it.
It's really tough in these conditions, doesn't it? Both sides looking like they're working hard just to get anywhere near the ball at times.
And from McCabe, a little deeper this time. But with a boot raised from Russo, that'll be an Everton free kick.
Really brave, wasn't it? I think it was it Sarah Holmsgaard there? Puts her head down. I think good defending, good brave defending. Yeah, free kick. High boot. Russo.
Scored in the win over Leicester, Alessia Russo, twice in the 5-0 victory over Bristol City. It has been starved of goal-scoring opportunities so far today, and despite quizzical look on the face of Kim Little, referee Phoebe Cross has decided it's an Everton free kick.
Yeah, I think Kim Little has got every right to be a little bit confused. Actually, the refs changed their decision.
There is some logic to the decision being changed. I'm not sure getting clattered from behind by Martina Piemonte is exactly Kim Little's responsibility.
Yeah, I think Kim Little couldn't believe it, could she? And obviously the linesman helped out the referee then.
Come on! Organised, keep organised, listen.
Little. inventive. Might take something like that for Arsenal to finally prise open this Everton defence. Piemonte thought she saw an opportunity and thought she saw Zinsberger far enough off her line to take advantage.
It was going to have to be some effort to beat Zinsberger from that position, but you know, it shows the confidence from Piemonte to have a shot from distance.
Followed by Williamson. Although escapes the clutches of Emily Fox. Well, since the very first moments of the game, Manuela Zinsberger has been taking up a position on the very periphery of her penalty area, and that might just have been something that was in the mind of Martina Piemonte when she looked up and had space.
I think so, but Zinsberger definitely a lot deeper that time. It was going to have to be some shot to beat her from that distance. Everton definitely growing in confidence in this game now.
Justifiably so, having kept Arsenal at bay. And we are now in 3 minutes of stoppage time. Palova, Mead, making a nuisance of herself.
You can see there, Steve, the amount of players Everton have centrally to snuff out those dangerous threats of Russo and Blackstenius and Kim Little when she steps forward from that 10 position as well.
Russo, Fox, in towards Blackstenius, off Finnegan, and Holmsgaard prevents it going out of play for a corner.
Really good from Holmsgaard there. Important to reduce those set-piece options that Arsenal have had.
Arsenal could be in business here right at the end of the first half. It flashes across the face of goal. Well, that was so very nearly the moment again for Arsenal. Palova bursting into the penalty area.
We've seen this through the half, haven't we? And Palova this time picking up the ball inside the box, stages a touch, it falls really nicely for her, catches it on the half volley. Just couldn't get it on target, goes not far of that far post as well. Really good technique, she drives through the ball, looking for that far corner. Not far from Ford coming in on that back post as well.
Well, at times Courtney Brosnan's goal has led a charmed life in the first half, but one particularly good save from her early on to deny Stina Blackstenius. She has played her part in keeping the game goalless. Little. Russo couldn't not to the pass. Noyce twisting and turning in her search for a teammate. The play off Bissell.
In the game we've seen on this right-hand side for Everton, Bissell in particular, I think it's looked dangerous when she's got the ball. When they've been able to find her on this right-hand side, it just hasn't happened often enough for Everton, in my opinion.
Well, there's quite a bit of discussion going on the touchline as to which way the throw-in was awarded, and Katie McCabe was shocked to discover it had gone the way of Everton. That is the final action of the first half, in which Arsenal have been the dominant force but have failed to break through. Their best opportunities came the way of Stina Blackstenius, who was thwarted early on by Brosnan in the Everton goal. At the other end, the one and only opportunity that Everton created was from a corner kick, which was headed against the crossbar by Karen Holmsgaard. Eunice Erdeval will be the more frustrated manager that the first half has passed us by goalless. Everton, so far, the game plan from their point of view is working nicely. They are frustrating the side who have beaten them so often before in WSL. Half-time, Everton 0, Arsenal 0. Lindsay, your final first half thoughts?
I think Arsenal has obviously had lots of possession. We thought that before the game, we knew that before the game, but what Everton have done really well, have stuck to the game plan, nice and compact, rode their luck at times, in my opinion, by playing possession plays football around the area, but have grown in confidence in this game and have looked dangerous at times, particularly with that chance with Karen Holmsgaard. So really good game so far, competitive game, hopefully looking for some goals in the second half.
And a game that is still very much in the balance at the interval, goalless between Everton and Arsenal in WSL.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Lindsay. Yes, well, Arsenal have dominated possession, but not really done anything with it. Only one shot on target from Arsenal, none from Everton. Farah, thoughts on that first half? Does it look like both teams really, Arsenal nothing to play for and Everton feeling already safe?
You could say that. Certainly in terms of the intensity of the game overall from both teams, it's felt a little bit like that. I feel like Everton obviously don't want to lose the game. They've only had one win here all season. So for the fans that have turned out, and they always turn out in their numbers when it's Arsenal, they want to put on a show. So they're doing things well. But for me, Arsenal have to do more. So I think it's more a case of Arsenal not doing enough. And Everton, and as you said, Everton and Arsenal both really don't have anything to play for. But it's a frustrating game, Alex.
What's your thoughts on that first half, Anita?
Yeah, I agree with Farah. I think, I'm surprised by Arsenal's lack of intensity and urgency, especially in possession, the dynamism in what they're doing. Out of possession, there's opportunities for them to press aggressively, and they're not doing that either. So for me, that's really frustrating, because they should be, aside from dominating possession, they should be actually creating more critical chances on goal.
Looking at that first half, you was analysing, though, Everton in terms of them trying to play out and get through the lines. But what did you want to see? Because was it creating danger for Everton?
Yeah, I think they caused a lot of early pressure on themselves, building out from the back, through Courtney Brosnan. They had opportunities to break lines, to either through the centre-backs taking the ball, and it led to turnovers like this, where Stina Blackstenius really should score. She's found herself in a really good position, this reverse pass from Caitlin Ford, and I just thought that was a bit casual and too relaxed from her. And again, they're trying to build out Courtney Brosnan, taking her time. They want to draw Arsenal into pressure, but they don't find Piemonte, who's in acres of space in behind Kim Little, try and hit that line earlier and play off of that. Instead, they allow Arsenal to just keep encroaching, gaining territory on the pitch to try and press them, which led to some problems for them.
I think that's half the problem. I think the modern game suggests that we must play out from the back, and we've seen that Everton have tried to do that and make that a part of their DNA. The problem is they actually go nowhere with the ball, so they're actually not progressing up the pitch. What they're doing, Alex, is just inviting pressure from Arsenal. For me, Arsenal, we're going to see in a minute, need to be more aggressive with that pressure to create better chances. Everton are getting away with it at the moment because Arsenal are so passive.
And Farah, I love sitting beside you as a game's going on, and in my ear you just keep saying the word passive. Arsenal are being too, what?
Passive.
On the ball.
There you go. Of course they are. No, and that's just my opinion of the game. I think Everton are wanting to play out. They haven't actually got out their own final third, but you can see here, Everton are in possession. It's just slow. Arsenal players are waiting. What Arsenal players are doing well, they are blocking passing lines. But once they block a passing line, you have to go and make pressure on the ball. And this is what they're not doing. You can see here it's slow. Everton are pretty much at the back. I think it's Finnegan standing on the ball. There's not enough aggressive pressure. As it's backward pass, that's a trigger. A backward pass for me is a trigger for your front player to go and put the pressure on, and then you follow behind. We already know that Everton aren't a team that like to play more direct. They like to play those shorter passes. That's an invitation, in my opinion. That's an invitation to go and press, be aggressive, be on the front foot, and Arsenal haven't done that well enough.
Is that where sometimes you need a loud voice in that midfield, someone who's seeing it from behind, Farah, to say then go and put that pressure?
100%, and we know that. We all used to shout at each other when we was in there. I mean, I was probably the worst at it, but it is. You need that encouragement. But I also think if there isn't a vocal player, we know as players a backwards pass is a trigger, is an invitation to go and put that pressure on. One of your teammates go, you have to go together. Arsenal are doing it individually.
Someone has to take responsibility, don't they? They just by doing it in the action is that trigger. Then you react off of their movement, and then you anticipate where the next pass might go and be able to pinch it potentially.
You two, I don't know if it's only me because I'm facing you side on, but this spray and the water.
I'm having a nice shower.
I'm going to have to get a tissue in the minute. Let's talk about Everton, Anita, because they actually had a great chance.
Yeah, Everton at times they've been able to force Arsenal into double turnovers, and when they pinch the ball, they've been dynamic, and it led to a set piece, a corner in the box. And it's in the second phase from Van Havermaet. You think here, she's got to use her physicality and her body in there to really get contact on the ball in that second phase and put it in the back of the net. But the initial one as well with Karen there hitting the crossbar just already showed Arsenal that they're a danger from set pieces.
That has to be a goal, Alex. I mean, she's 2 yards out. She's the tallest player on the pitch. She's going up against Beth Mead. And for me, that at least the contact has to be there. I saw there was a slight nudge from Beth Mead, but she has to do better in that opportunity, especially as Everton are probably playing for set pieces.
Yeah, Farah, you said that should be a goal, but should have Arsenal had put away some of their opportunities that they've been creating?
Yeah, they've had a few. They had one with Blackstenius, and I think this was the Blackstenius one or the Caitlin Ford one. But it's just Caitlin Ford just completely miskicks the ball, Alex. And when you're in that position, I think that looked like concentration's gone. You see here, the ball is perfect. And it's just a little bit of lapse in concentration, switches off, doesn't connect properly. But for me, that has to be connected with. That has to hit, at least make the keeper fall so into making a save. You haven't done either of that. It's just poor connection there. But there was a bigger chance just before, I don't know if we're going to show it, but there was a big chance right before the end of the game. This is it here.
This is Pavlova's chance.
You know, Pavlova, she just gets it down, compose yourself. She's driven it hard and low. It's the right thing. She's hit it across goal. We'll see again, a bit clearer from here, Anita. She hits it across goal, right idea, but for me, has to do better.
It's the story of Arsenal's season, really. They find themselves in really great positions in the box, and it's just lacking that bit of quality and composure in those moments to be clinical.
This shower's not nice, I must say.
Can someone please give us a towel or a blanket or something? Right, I'm going to give you two a minute. Look, the fans have...
Absolutely.
I've had I'm soaked.
Right, you two, have a minute. Right, let's look at some more of the WSL fixtures that are happening this weekend. OK, the standout fixtures include Manchester City's visit to bottom place Bristol this evening. That one's happening at 6:45. A win for Manchester City would see Bristol officially relegated back into the Championship. And then on Wednesday night, Liverpool will host current holders Chelsea, and that one will be kicking off at 7 o'clock. OK, let's get over to Ellen right now, who is with Everton's goalkeeper, Emily Ramsey.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. We're also trying to avoid the sprinklers here as well. Emily, it's been a frustrating season for you, injuring one ankle and then in your recovery injuring the other. How's your recovery going?
Good. It's the early stages, so I'm just still seeing what needs to be done and how long it'll be, but it shouldn't be too different to my other rehab that I've just gone through, so at least I know I can do it. And yeah, I've just got my focus on next season and what I can do to get ready for that.
There's no secret how many of you are going through rehab at the minute. What's the mood like and the team spirit within that group going through rehab?
It's really good. We've been in a difficult position with injuries, I think, this season, and it's unfortunate, but yeah, we've got a really good group of girls and a lot of good characters, so it's good. I mean, it's nice for me that I'm not alone in the gym. I suppose it's not the best thing really, but yeah, we're good. Everyone seems positive and just looking forward to getting back on the pitch.
Like we said, some key injuries, you've lost some key players as well throughout the course of the season. Where does where you are now compare with the targets you set at the start of the season?
I think obviously this isn't where we set out to want to be in the league, but as you say, a lot of the injury troubles have not helped that. I think actually if we look at last season and this season, I think the performances have probably been better than last season, so that's definitely a positive. And we're just now looking to finish the season strongly and try and get ourselves up that table a little bit.
Hope to see you back very, very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Well, Emma Hayes' farewell tour isn't quite going to plan. They were knocked out of the Champions League last night against Barcelona. Stamford Bridge full, sold out, which was great to see, Farah. But Emma Hayes speaking after the game, saying she felt robbed.
I think I can agree in terms of some of the decisions within the game. What I can't agree with is that over the two legs, and certainly yesterday at Stamford Bridge, Barcelona were by far the better team. I think they showed the levels yesterday in that game. I thought, Chelsea had a fantastic first leg out in Barcelona to come back with a 1-0 victory and perform the way they did. I thought they were fantastic. But when I was watching yesterday, there were times in the game and I thought, this is showing a level. And I thought Barcelona were much better. The second yellow card for Buchanan, in my opinion, is not a second yellow. For me, I half thought, because there was a delay to the red card, I actually thought the referee thought it maybe have been Buchanan's first yellow card. And so that's why she gave it. I think if she knew it was going to send her off, I don't think she would have given her a yellow card for that. So obviously on 60 minutes playing against the best team in Europe, with 10 players, you're right up against it. And then the penalty decision, in my opinion, again, was harsh. This isn't a biased Chelsea fan, by the way. I thought it was a harsh decision. And it cost them the game. But Barca were better. I have to put it out there, they were better.
We love your honesty, Faz. That's why you're here.
I don't want these fans to be out there, the Arsenal fans telling me I'm biased. I'm being honest.
Look, Barca's the best women's team in Europe, in my opinion, in terms of playing style, the dominance they've had in the European game and domestically as long as they have. But I think Chelsea really bridged the gap when you compare them to prior, competitions against Barca where they absolutely got wiped away by Barca. But you have to say they also had chances to maybe, get the result that they wanted. Leupolz had a fantastic opportunity. I think Nusken as well. And that's the difference, isn't it? Sometimes you can only control what you do and not the referee's decisions.
How hard is it for players when you've gone from last month, Farah, talking about a quadruple to that being taken away and now really going for the league? I think the last time we spoke about Chelsea going without a trophy was 5 years ago.
It's difficult. I thought in the Conti Cup final we were all there against Arsenal. Arsenal were by far the better team. It happened the same to them last year. They then go international, they come back, they have Manchester United in the semi-final, absolutely dominated the game, didn't get the result. We thought coming back to Stamford Bridge against Barcelona, they give themselves half a chance, they just wasn't good enough. And now potentially, they're 3 points behind Manchester City. The goal difference is looking in favour of Manchester City. And so it looks like their season could be over. And it's really hard when you lose or come out of 3 competitions within the space of 3 weeks to really pick yourself up and go again.
They still do have a game in hand. It's going to be an interesting game at Manchester City next week against Arsenal. Right, let's have a look what we have coming up on the BBC, because from 2:30 today, you can catch the Gymnastics European Championship over on the iPlayer. It's the men's apparatus team final. And later tonight, you can watch all of the highlights from this weekend's WSL on the Women's Football Show. That's on BBC One at 11:40. And then tomorrow, you can watch some live NBA playoffs from 8:30 as Dallas Mavericks will be hosting the LA Clippers on the iPlayer. And sorry, Faz, there's a new podcast in town.
Is that Boots Balls Bar?
Hello, Nan. It's Ella. I've got some big news.
The England duo Ella Toone and Alessia Russo today announced they're reuniting for a brand new podcast.
Oh, this once inseparable duo are now not just back, but stronger than ever.
Someone's given them to a podcast. Are you joking? That's nice.
A Toone and Russo podcast. I am so in.
All I want from Ella is...
You've never called me that before.
Toonie!
Ella Toone and Alessia Russo are back on top.
What? Who's reffing that?
It's me.
You heard it here first. I'm going to be Toonie and Russo's third wheel. Nothing is off limits. Is that right?
Well, apparently so, yeah.
I absolutely love Casualty, but Mammy can't. She has to look away, isn't it? You don't like the hospital dramas where I can watch them, and I love the dramas. And
even though it's joking blood, I have to look away.
And Mark's favourite is?
Sporting news.
Sporting news, we're all different.
And the odd murder.
I am getting a little bit concerned how many murders Mark is watching.
Oh, goodness me, yeah.
The top 3 has been established. Arsenal are the outsider of the trio. Arsenal are in here and looking dangerous. The crossbar has been rattled. Everton close to taking the lead. Surely this time 4.
She should have done better.
And Arsenal's frustrations continue. It flashes across the face of goal. And that was so very nearly the moment for Arsenal. Arsenal have been the dominant force, but have failed to break through.
OK, whilst Farah Williams has 45 minutes to dry the tears from her eyes because we don't promote her podcast, let's hope we see some goals in this second half. Let's get you back to our commentary team. Lindsay Johnson is alongside Stephen Wyatt.
Yes, it's not been for lacking in terms of goal-mouth opportunities. It's just ball in the back of the net that has been so far absent between an Arsenal side that is in danger of their title challenge becoming theoretical if they drop points today, and an Everton team that is looking to improve that wretched home form and indeed do something that they have not done often enough this season, and that is to take points off the leading sides. A half-time alteration for Arsenal. Leah Cordina is on. Leah Williamson is the one who has departed. Well, she is one of those who has not that long ago come back from a very serious injury. Leah Williamson, just her 6th league start of the season today, and it is not a game that she is going to complete. Well, back underway at the start of the second half. It is Everton who are playing into the wind in the second half, and it's Hormsgaard looking to make something happen for them early on, and not too far away from a more serious test of the goalkeeper there being provided by Pinamonte.
Straight away, Everton have tried to take advantage of that wind. Ball on this left-hand side, and Emily Fox doesn't deal with it very well. Falls for Hormsgaard, really good pullback. Piemonte could not get the power she wanted to test Zinsberger there, but really good attack. See it again.
Intriguing, isn't it? Intriguing that having played for 45 minutes with the wind in their faces, Everton looking to capitalise on having it to their advantage immediately.
I think so, and I remember when I used to play and wind was always a factor. You never wanted it to be windy. You'd want the hail, the rain, the sun, but not the wind. But if you can take this advantage, Everton, and make something of it, that's what they'll be looking to do in this second half.
Well, how much is that a demonstration of how the tempo of the game might alter? Snoyce with a touch that very nearly took her away from Arsenal players. Leah Cordina away momentarily. Hope. Bissell. Zinsberger has to grab it at a near post. That was an awkward one.
Good play from Everton. Really good intensity to start this game. Looking to go forward. Hope there just plays that nice ball in to Bissell, who tries to whip it. Couldn't get a foot around it, could she, just to bring it away from Zinsberger. Ends up being too close for an easy gather for her.
Hormsgaard forward for Bissell. Has Snoyce as a target, but will have to settle for a throw.
I think Bissell in that first half did look like a threat for Everton, just wasn't on the ball as much as they wanted her to. Would like to have had her on the ball.
Bissell was coming back from an offside position, so Arsenal have a free kick. Blackstenius. Palova. Shrugging off Snoyce. Leah Cordina. Leslie Williamson will be a loss. Being able to turn to a World Cup winner is not a bad alternative for an Arsenal point of view.
Not bad at all. Hopefully Leah Williamson, hopefully it's a precaution. It's always hard coming back from an ACL as well and managing that comeback. How much load and impact you have. Hopefully just a precaution for Leah Williamson.
Russo. Ford. Away from Hope. Now with support arriving. And it deflects away off Van Hevermaet for a corner, and Van Hevermaet is hurt as a consequence.
Yeah, she does really well, Van Hevermaet, to get in the way of that and intercept it. Whether she fell awkwardly or it hit her in an awkward position, I'm not entirely sure. Gives Everton time just to organise in that. Just see it here on the replay. Really good overlap on that left-hand side from Arsenal. It just hits her, doesn't it? She's kind of looking the other way, Van Havermaet, and it hits her on the side of the face. And sometimes if that's with a lot of pace and power, that can really jar your neck. Experienced that before, it's not nice.
Hiding at the back of the Arsenal dugout, Leah Williamson, who has been withdrawn at half-time with big games to come. A visit to Manchester City next weekend, Brighton on the final day of the season. Not just points today that Arsenal require. Frida Marnham amongst those in reserve for Arsenal, again having made her return from that Conti Cup final scare last weekend against Leicester. Arsenal's first corner of the second half. Flicked towards goal, but grabbed by Brosnan.
It was Catley, wasn't it? Nobody marking her. Able to get in the end of that corner. Straight at Brosnan, though.
Palova sliding in, but took out Wheeler at the same time as trying to win the ball. Free kick to Everton.
Palova she wins the ball. I think she just catches her there, doesn't she? Went Everton's way that time, could have gone the other way.
And the subsequent touch off Wheeler after the challenge is what saw her win the decision. Zinsberger is the one suddenly having to kick into the blustery conditions, and Fox can't stop the ball going out of play for a throw.
Again, the wind, definite challenge. If you want to play out from the back in that area, Arsenal facing the wind this time, it's going to cause problems.
Finnegan, Stenovic, Snoyce, Russo sliding in. Holmesgaard for Wheeler.
See what Wheeler was trying to do, get it out wide right for Bissell, but just that wind again taking it, needs to keep it a little bit lower.
Van Havermaet finding Sarah Holmesgaard.
Stress away.
Finnegan for Stenovic. What a play for a throw. Leah Corina. Intercepted by Wheeler. It's possessed by Ford. Leah Corina's got a problem now, though, in the shape of Katja Snoyce.
Really good aggressive press from Everton there. Have that mid-block, just making it compact, and then they know when and where to put that press, and Snoyce did really well then on Cadena.
Stenovic into Diamante, who thought she was fouled by Leah Corina. Instead, Blackstenius, Little. Mead for McKay. Blackstenius is there, so too Palova, and somehow, once again, Arsenal have failed to score.
That is a miss, in my opinion, a big miss for Arsenal. You'd have put your money on it. You can see here the ball playing out to that left-hand position. Here, McCabe, great ball into the box. You can see McCabe just looks up and you've got Palova there. Goes with the left foot, just goes wide of that far post.
He might just be starting to wonder whether it's going to be one of those days in front of goal. Ford up against Van Hevermaet. Holmescott, though, is afforded a little bit of time to consider what to do next. Low from Piemonte, who's gone for the return and is now up against Lea Cordina and trying to hold up the ball until further support in blue arrives. In from Piemonte, but no problem there for Zinsberger.
Wrong decision for me there from Piemonte. Should have just played it back. Recycle the ball. Fortunately, she goes for the cross in the box, and there's no one there. Easy for Arsenal to pick it up.
Arsenal needed to see today as an opportunity to apply some late-season pressure on Chelsea and Arsenal, the two sides above them in the table, before City play later and Chelsea return to WSL action in midweek. So far, though, they are not taking advantage of the opportunity.
I think that's got to be credit as well to Everton, how organised they've been, how compact and patient they've been. Out of possession, definitely had more possession in this second half.
Villa, Leicester, Manchester City, Chelsea, Manchester United and Brighton have all won here against Everton this season. They are determined that Arsenal won't be added to that list. Stenovic. Back from Karen Holmescott.
Good. Support.
One for Snoyce to chase. Fox in pursuit. And Snoyce can do no more than foul her opponent.
Yeah, disappointing for Everton that Snoyce, who's such a willing runner, follow everything up, did it then. Emily Fox, really good defending, and Snoyce just tugs her. Needless foul, in my opinion.
Mead shaking off Stenovic. And finding Fox, who in turn could not thread the pass into the path of Blackstenius.
Really good ball from Mead, wasn't that sort of reverse pass with a left foot.
Ancient challenge from Little to make sure that Snoyce couldn't settle. Another Arsenal change on the way, one made at half-time. Marnon's return to competitive action after what happened in the Conti Cup final. Looks set to continue. Substitute appearance in the 3-0 win over Leicester. Looks set to play a substantial chunk of the second half here. A foul on Beth Mead by Sarah Holmescott.
You can see Beth Mead now starting to drop a bit deeper to try and get on the ball. A little bit frustrated. Not seen much of it so far, Beth Mead.
McCabe for Ford. Towards Blackstenius, away by Finnegan. Palova. Little. He lets it roll past her, and Holmsgaard is there for Everton. Snoyce. Wheeler. Typically busy and bustling performance so far from Claire Wheeler.
You could see Everton really growing in confidence this half. Playing out from the back, but with space as well. Arsenal are really getting... They're really getting stretched at times on the pitch, and Everton are finding gaps in the unit for them to play through.
Russo. Oh, she tried to hurdle the challenger of Van Hevermaet and wasn't able to do so. It's a free kick, and it might be a little bit more than that here for Justine Van Hevermaet. In the end, just a reminder to her responsibilities rather than a card.
See the replay here. Russo driving forward. Very slight pullback by Van Hevermaet, but still a pullback.
Russo on the move again. With endeavour in this second half and has found form. Menace about Arsenal. Fox is there, but can't get enough power in the shot to seriously trouble Courtney Brosnan.
She watches it well, Courtney Brosnan. Watches it all the way, gets a body behind it. It's solid save from Courtney Brosnan. Nice play from Arsenal around the box. Good feet from Ford. Just here, Emily Fox, like you say, not enough power, side foots it into Brosnan's hands.
Here comes Bissell. Sort of response from Everton to that chance created at the other end. Swept away by Catley. Sarah Holmsgaard drove the ball goalwards, and that was anticipated by Little, who deflects it away for a corner.
I think Sarah Holmsgaard was surprised by how much time she had on the ball, and it was only a split decision. I think she was then going to go for an on goal. Kim Little reads it well and closes it down fantastically well. Does concede a corner though. That game definitely opening up for me now, Steve. A lot more space for both teams to play in.
Well, we saw in the first half when Everton hit the crossbar from a corner kick from the other side, what kind of opportunity this presents themselves with, and Van Hevermaet is amongst those who will once again be a notable target. And from Hope into a heavily congested area, and Zinsberger's forced into a save. In amongst the congestion, it was Van Hevermaet getting the touch.
Really dangerous Van Hevermaet. You've got to mark her. She's the one who stands out the most. She'll be disappointed that she couldn't do more with that. She does connect, but straight into Zinsberger.
For Bissell. Aaron Holmsgaard out of play. Little was there for Arsenal.
Good go with the replay, and Van Hevermaet tussling there with Blackstenius, able to just get in front of Blackstenius. Isn't she? Really good strength from Van Hevermaet. Unfortunately for her, a touch takes it straight to Zinsberger. Getting closer for Everton though.
Well, just as we saw in the 3-0 win over Leicester, the Arsenal change is Blackstenius on and Frida Arnhem on. No obvious cardiac issue was found after that collapse in the Conti Cup final, but it is a situation that Arsenal are continuing to monitor. They will keep a very close eye on Frida Arnhem. The other change, Chloe Lacasse is on Caitlin Ford, also making way.
Their replacements, number 15, Ellen
Well, one of the Holmgard twins is departing for Everton, and Eleanor Dale, yet to make a full debut for the club, is on for a 6th substitute appearance. Snoyce. Dale immediately into the action. Immediately taking on Leah Cordina. That's a show of confidence.
Really exciting player, Eleanor Dale, only young, hails from the northeast. Exciting young player. Really good game for her to come on, and lots of minutes for her to get involved in this game.
22 years of age, joined Everton from the University of Nebraska in January. Once upon a time a Durham player. And she did score 28 goals in her final season of college football, so she knows where the back of the net is.
100%, and I think she'll be hoping to try and get her first goal for Everton today if she can. Really exciting player, powerful runner, athletic.
Talk about powerful and athletic, here comes Kim Little, who's still full of running. Finding Mead. Russo wants to take it on herself. Fox. Mead. That's an inviting cross which doesn't get the required touch, and another chance that Arsenal have created is not converted.
Fantastic play from Arsenal around the 18-yard box. This ball out to Mead. Whips it in, and it's Chloe Lacasse. Tries to get her head on it, and I think she tries too much. Inches away from getting a head on that, and a certain goal for Arsenal.
Well, the wasting of opportunities for those in red and white appears to be contagious.
Definitely, in a number of chances. Pullover earlier on, now Chloe Lacasse. Got to be more clinical in front of goal. When you, this is why Arsenal are why they are in the league. They're third. You know, a number of points behind City and Chelsea. Not as ruthless as Chelsea and Man City, in my opinion. Something they've got to work on for next season. You can see here good footwork from Russo. Emily Fox plays this ball out wide to Beth Mead. Wicked ball in, isn't it? Chloe Lacasse just couldn't get a head on it. You can see Beth Mead, can't you? Just looks up. Really great model for any young footballers out there, Beth Mead. Now Chloe Lacasse will be disappointed. She didn't just, you just wanted to throw herself at it, but it's easier said up here, isn't it, watching from the stands?
Just one goal in her last 12 WSL appearances for Chloe Lacasse. You know, a majority of those have been as a substitute. Well, he wouldn't want the lingering title challenge to become no more than a theory, but that is what Jonas Adeval and Arsenal are facing if they fail to beat Everton today. That really would relinquish any claim they had on it being a three-horse race.
I think so. I think they'll do everything they can to get the 3 points today, and obviously for it to still be a mathematical challenge, but sometimes it's psychological. They solidified that third place last week against Leicester. Does that then stick in the back of your mind? Do you then unconsciously take your foot off the gas? Not sure.
Pullover. All deflects away from Mead. Sarah Holmgard. Brian Sorensen and Everton won't mind this at all. We are past the midway point in the second half, and still a side that has struggled to score goals themselves this season is in the contest as a consequence of preventing Arsenal from getting one. Mead looking to change that. Russo away by Finnegan. Holmsgaard looking to turn away from Marnen. Well, the introduction of Frida Marnen, as we saw last week against Leicester, has changed things in terms of the attacking dynamic for Arsenal, because Blackstenius off releases Alessia Russo to become the focal point of the Arsenal attack.
Yeah, 100%. You can see that Russo's gone into that. We're used to seeing her in that 9 position. He's definitely tried with Blackstenius and Russo up top together. It hasn't quite worked today. I think Russo's so dangerous in that 9 position, and Marnen, box-to-box player, but is really positive with those forward runs and forward passes, so you know how dangerous she can be. So that's the next option for Arsenal.
Arsenal have conceded possession, and Bale is looking to capitalise.
Eleanor, Martina White, one of you. Last place, one.
Piemonte turning away from Fox, now up against Lea Cordina. Mead is there as well. Dale in. Not allowed to continue as she thought initially she might be able to.
Really good footwork from Eleanor Dale. Comes in there, rolls her foot over the ball, but linesman said the whole ball was out.
Pass from Zinsberger is beyond the reach of Lea Cordina, and it's just become a little bit ragged at the back for Arsenal.
That's due to the fact that players like Eleanor Dale coming on, and they're really trying to push that higher line now, Everton. They realise the state of play in the last third of the game, and this is exactly where they'll have wanted to be if you'd have asked them at the start of the game. If they can get to 70 minutes at 0-0, Brian Sorensen will be what have been asking for at the start of the game.
Well, Arsenal have managed to resist the pressure on that occasion, but they will be more worried about the other end of the field and doing something about their failure so far to score a goal. Snoyce. Dale. Away from her by Little. Cleared as far as Stinovit. Who's brilliant away from Pelova. And is clearly one of those who's now playing with increased confidence, albeit the pass intended for Bissell maybe had that little too great an exuberance attached to it.
That skill from that centre-half deserved a lot more, in my opinion.
Val remains dissatisfied with what he's seeing on the field because he's making another change, and it's the returning Kyra Cooney-Cross who is being introduced. Has missed the last 3 games, including the Conti Cup final, but is on for Pelova to try and help Arsenal find a way of winning this one.
Cooney-Cross is, she's not so dissimilar from Pelova. She likes the ball at her feet. She likes to play those balls forward to the ranks. Different personnel. Got to try that when you're looking for the win.
Morner for Little, who was being held back but still managed to shrug off the challenges. Kim Little, what a run this is. Now Mead. First touch perhaps forced her a little bit further wide than she would have liked. Lea Cordina. Have to build again from the back, Arsenal.
Been really impressed with Everton's organisation today and their units and their the distances between the ranks.
Russo. Leah Codina. Emily Fox. Taking on Eleanor Dale. Forcing Dale to put the ball behind for a corner.
Good run by Emily Fox there, driving forward, and Eleanor Dale had to marshal her well. Concedes a corner though. You can see here Eleanor Dale keeping her eye on the ball all the way. You want that from your forward players.
Into the final 15 minutes. Bit of a scramble, but Everton get it away again. McCabe from Mead. Mead delivers, but Russo can't finish.
Really good cross by Mead, wasn't it? The ball over the top. Arsenal decide to go direct this time. Great run by Meth Mead. Just there, you see a look up. You can see Russo's run. Excellent defending, isn't it, by Van Havermaet? Does enough to make sure Russo hits over the bar.
Piemonte. It's possessed by Little.
It's holding on to it too much there, Piemonte. I know she's so good at holding the ball up, but sometimes just lay it off. Should you keep possession for your team?
McCabe for Russo. Trying to get away from Van Havermaet. That's easier said than done. Fox. Mead for Leah Codina. Little. Cooney cross. McCabe. Away from Bissell. Finnegan can't get her head to the cross. It's away instead by Holmesgard. Now Piemonte. What a tussle that is, and in the end it's a tussle that goes against the Italian in terms of the decision-making.
Piemonte stayed down. Has to get back up to help her team. She's needed. Really good cross there from Katie McCabe.
Russo's layoff. Lacasse. Mead. Dale tenaciously into the challenge.
Brilliant challenge from a forward in the 18-yard box. Confidently wins the ball. Arsenal having a bit of a purple patch here.
Mead for Little, advantage being played, not an advantage that materialised.
Yeah, Kim Little starting to pull the strings in midfield. We've seen her do it so often.
Fox for Leah Codina. Little. Away from Wheeler momentarily, not for long.
We can hear Brian Sorensen screaming at his Everton team to get out. You can see that they're just starting to drop off because of the amount of possession Arsenal have done. Unfortunately, I've experienced that too many times in my career against Arsenal.
Mead in towards Russo, but Finnegan made sure the pass didn't make it that
She's enjoying a tackle, Eleanor Dale, since she's come on. Not shy to put her foot in. Fantastic. Fully committed. Love to see it.
Well, he made her WSL debut in February in the 2-0 win over West Ham. It's only the 4th time that we've seen her in action in the top flight of women's football. Here comes Goody Cross. 10 minutes and change remaining of the 90 for Arsenal to get the goal they've been striving so hard for. Lacasse, one of those who hasn't taken an opportunity. Mead, and finally it is in. A long time coming, but the goal that Arsenal have threatened has been delivered by Alessia Russo, who once again is the player in the right place at the right time to score her 10th goal of the season in WSL to make it Everton 0, Arsenal 1.
And it has been coming. Arsenal have had lots of opportunities in this second half. We can see it here. Katie McCabe just playing that ball into... On this right side, it's Chloe Lacasse, isn't it? Plays it in. Beth Mead comes in from that outside post, but Brosnan makes a fantastic initial save, doesn't she? But Russo does what great number 9s does, follows it up and is first to that ball. But Beth Mead's run here on the back post, fantastic Brosnan save, but Russo first to that ball. It has been coming, Steve.
4th goal in the last 3 games in WSL for Alessia Russo. She is Arsenal's leading goal scorer in the competition.
Her replacement is number 39, Izzy Hobson.
Immediately in the aftermath of the goal conceded, Everton have made a change, and it's one of the 16-year-olds who was on the bench for them from the offset, Izzy Hobson, who is on to replace Piemonte.
It's really good to give you youth players some experience playing against some internationals and world-class players as well. It'd be a great experience for Hobson.
Everton could be in here, and in the context of the opportunities that they've had in the game, that one that's come the way of Eleanor Dale will go down as one.
Just seeing the replay here. Eleanor Dale doesn't shoot the left foot, and I think if she'd have gone down there, there might have been a bigger shout for a penalty.
By Leia Corina. Fox. Little. Russo ahead of her. Oh, judged by Van Heverman. Russo. Second goal for Arsenal would finish off Everton. Fox. Challenging, and there was an arm out stretch.
I think she gets caught, doesn't she? Seeing it here. Beth Mead there, it's just Hobson. I don't think there's any malice or anything in it. She's just put her arm across, and it does seem to hit Mead in the face.
Well,
No
Everton
intent.
supporter, Izzy Hobson. She came through the club's academy. We saw her make her debut last month against Manchester City, getting minutes against one of the other big hitters in WSL and getting involved against one of the very best in the game, Beth Mead.
Yeah, and it's the right way to go about things. Just get involved straight away, take the opportunities. This will be invaluable, this experience.
Well, his hand was forced a little bit today to have three teenagers who are still finding their way in the game on the bench. I did sympathise with, same as me in the supermarket sometimes when he's asked what he's forgotten, and there was a list of players longer than he would have liked that he had to go through off a piece of paper who weren't available today. Oh, Russo's done brilliantly. Arsenal with a chance perhaps to finish it here. Little takes aim, and it was a shot that didn't get through with any sort of venom.
Russo, in this second half, definitely, Alicia Russo and Kim Little have definitely stepped it up. And we see the footwork from Russo here. What a turn. And then again, just with the outside of her foot, great pullback. And he falls to Kim Little. You put your money on her hitting the target. Just slightly wide of that far post.
Fox. Mead, who has recovered from the bump to the head. Here's Little. Bounce of the ball was unkind. But Fox is on hand to take over. Such an industrious player, isn't she, Emily Fox? One of the outstanding contributors to the effort of the US national team, as well as to what we've seen more recently from Arsenal.
Yeah, she's a no-nonsense defender and just gets her head down, works so hard on the ball and off the ball. I really enjoy watching her. Such a threat going forward as well.
Snoyce is fell. That'll be an Everton free kick. So Everton, what can they do late on in the game? There's still a point to be gained from the contest from them. Set pieces, though, arguably have been their most likely route towards goal-scoring chances. Stenovic with the free kick. Launched into the Arsenal penalty area. And it's Little who comes away with the ball. Holmsgaard, headed on by Dale, but harmlessly behind, although Dale's touch was not the final one. It'll be a corner kick.
A really good endeavour from Dale. Good challenge. Dale forces the corner.
The wind has just died momentarily as Lucy Hope prepares to take this corner kick. Good delivery required. Zinsberger comes, gets a hand to the ball, and Lacasse completes the job. Stenovic, Finnegan, contributed so much resolve to the game, Everton, but it looks as though they are going to slump to another home defeat. Lindsay, your Barclays player of the match?
Yeah, I think a couple of shouts in there for maybe Van Havermaet or Snoyce for Everton, but I'm going to go with today Kim Little's second half performance. Really pulled Arsenal through this game and drove them forward, being integral in the second half. My player of the match.
Well, the last time that Arsenal failed to beat Everton in WSL was a 2-2 draw 12 years ago. Kim Little scored for Arsenal that day. Do you know who scored for Everton? Our very own Farrah Williams.
I remember it well.
Russo thought she was in, thought she would have the opportunity to make absolutely sure of the 3 points. Offside flag says otherwise. Oh, that's awkward. Dale is in for a chance to level. And the door was closed firmly on her by Katie McCabe.
Fantastic ball in behind, wasn't it? See Katie McCabe down, hopefully she's okay. Really good run though from Eleanor Dale. Like we said, she's got that pace, runs on the back shoulder of Katie McCabe. Gathers some speed and it drops kindly for her. You think, hit it on the volley, but she hits it. Doesn't get her foot over it because of Katie McCabe's fantastic pressure. Does win the corner though.
Arsenal with some defending to do late in the game. In the 90th minute, Zinsberger thought about coming, then didn't. And it's back across the face of goal and awkward again for it. Was Hope who was trying to keep the chance alive.
Looked very dangerous from set pieces, particularly these corners. Everton. Zinsberg did well. And then to just come and gather that through her players.
And as we tick into an additional 7 minutes at the end of the 90, another delay as Zinsberger's well-being is inquired about. She's not the only Arsenal player requiring of treatment, by the way. So too Steph Catley. And McCabe. Catley is back to her feet. McCabe, though, however, still has a problem from when she blocked the Dale effort behind a few moments ago.
Whether she caught Dale's foot as Dale went for the shot, whether she caught her foot or her studs underneath, or whether it was the impact of her taking that shot. Just have a quick look here. It looks more like that. She's deflected the shot and it's a powerful shot, so the jarring of her ankle maybe. An awkward one for her.
Well, 3 points today serves as a reminder to Manchester City and Chelsea that Arsenal are not out of title contention just yet. It would take them level with second-placed Chelsea on 46 points, although Chelsea would have 2 games in hand. And Manchester City just feeling the breath on their neck ahead of their game against Bristol City later on. Zinsberger's clearance comes straight back to her.
Definitely what you want, don't we? That's what we want in the WSL, for a finish like we're getting, with mathematically still 3 points able to win this championship. You know, we're looking likely either Chelsea or Man City, but Arsenal have a big part to play, don't they? Playing Man City next week as well. So exciting, the end of this season.
And that is a game that you can see live with us next weekend on BBC One, a game that could go a long way to determining the destination of the silverware at the very end of the season. 2:15, BBC One, for the game between Arsenal and Manchester City. Working tirelessly to make life difficult for Holmesgard, a little too much so.
Surprised that went Arsenal's way. I thought there was a free kick for Everton, but
I think even Fox thought so. This is a bonus one for the Gunners, which Beth Mead is preparing herself to deliver. Second goal would help get Arsenal over the line. In from Mead. Lacasse. Cooney cross. Russo. Cordina, the one in the middle. Now Russo delivers. Away by Stinovic before it reached Mead. Little looking to keep the ball alive. Mead is there as well again. Holmesgard away for Everton only momentarily. Mead into Russo, who had a glorious opportunity to make absolutely sure.
Get another chance wasted for Arsenal. And it's been 3 or 4 big chances, and that one Russo falls for her. Hobson's behind her. Russo's got in front of her, and you think she's definitely going to curl her foot around that. There, Arsenal just win it on the edge of the box. It falls nicely for Russo, but she just leans back. You can see her leaning back as she makes connection with it. What you wanted her to do is whip her foot around it, get into the bottom corner, but blazes it over the bar.
There's Izzy Hobson sliding in, giving her a bit of a clattering after the fact. Dale in pursuit of the ball. Catley there for Arsenal, but Dale wins the race. And Everton aren't done yet and have won themselves a corner.
Really good work from Eleanor Dale. What a willing runner, and able to keep that in. Wins the foot race and then wins the corner.
Well, wouldn't it be just the thing if Brian Sorensen's side could snatch an equaliser right at the very end of the contest, one that they've worked so hard to remain in contention for. It's the heavily populated penalty area again as the corner is delivered. Fox can't get it away, and it's in! And what a moment that is! Would you believe it? The most glorious moment for an Everton fan on as a late substitute. Izzy Hobson has plundered the equaliser.
What a goal for Hobson! How must she be feeling right now? She wanted it more than anybody else. What end to this game, and you knew that Everton was still in it at 1-0 with the wind in their favour. It was still, we can see the corner, really good wicket corner in swinger. And Hobson just drives forward, no one's marking her, is she? She pulls off. She just gets higher than the Arsenal player, doesn't she? I'm not entirely sure who that is. Fox, doesn't she? She just jumps higher than Fox and wants it. And that power and trajectory takes it over Zinsberger into the back of the net.
A 16-year-old's first senior goal might just be the goal to end Arsenal's realistic hopes of remaining in the title race. In towards Mead. And Mead has sent it goalwards, but only into the arms of Brosnan, who clings on gratefully.
And now Jonas Eidevall will be just recapping those chances that Arsenal have had. We can just see here this drops of Mead, doesn't she? But is it Hobson again who puts the pressure on Mead to prevent her getting a clear shot on goal?
Dale appealing for handball. That isn't the way the decision went. It will, though, be a free kick for the challenge on Little. And the game's first yellow card is a yellow card right in its very final seconds for Katja Snoys. McCabe. Russo with the touch. Arsenal needs something desperately. Chloe Lacasse. Russo. It's just not going to be for Arsenal today. Too many opportunities not converted. The one that Alessia Russo scored doesn't look like it's going to be enough today because of that late Hobson equaliser.
Good shot. It's a really good effort. Fantastic technique from Russo. Thought he was going to sneak in that far corner. Just goes over the bar. But it goes back to those missed chances. Palova, Lacasse. Earlier on in this half.
Little's header. We've had the 7 minutes of stoppage time we were anticipating. There have been further delays, though. Mead. Brosnan prevents it going behind for a corner.
That's what you want from your keeper at this time in the game. Come and be commanding, come out your box. Waste some more seconds, tick this clock down.
Fox drifts out of play.
And I think, sorry, Steve, I think if you're talking about opportunities and chances, yes, Arsenal have had the majority. But if you're talking about hard work, organisation, resolve, resilience, then Everton, I think, do deserve a point out of this game.
Well, having seen one 16-year-old score the equalising goal, Everton ascending on another for a first taste of WSL action. Macy Settle replaces Emma Bissell.
Another 16-year-old on the pitch for Everton.
Well, we are at the discretion now of referee Phoebe Cross as to how much remains. Cooney Cross. Mornan was the target of the pass. Well judged, though, by Brosnan.
Watched it well, Brosnan. Trying to waste a little bit more time. The old school, bringing everybody over to one side of the pitch.
Well, Arsenal might just have to accept that that is that in terms of their challenge for the WSL title. Instead, the player writing the story, Izzy Hobson, a 16-year-old, scoring her first senior goal for the club she's supported all her life, to deny Jonas Arval and Arsenal the 3 points that it looked like they were going to snatch with Alessia Russo's late goal, only for one deep in stoppage time from a teenager to ensure the game levelled 1 apiece. Jubilation for Everton, who pick up a valuable point at home, one against one of the leading sides, something they've struggled so hard for. But for Arsenal, dropped points really does hand the initiative the way of Chelsea and Manchester City, and a 3-horse race for the title might now just be a 2-horse race. It is finished. Everton 1, Arsenal 1. Lindsay, your final thoughts?
I think it was a really competitive game. Everton did the work in the first half, kept in it, kept Arsenal at 0-0, frustrated them, did all the hard work, and in that second half it opened up, didn't it? But missed chances for Arsenal where they could have put the game to bed, and Everton were always in it at 1-0. And I think overall they deserved that goal, and fantastic for 16-year-old Izzy Hobson to get it. And I think Everton will be really proud of that performance today.
And well, they should. A point that they worked tremendously hard for, and for the first time in 17 attempts, for the first time in 12 years, Everton have avoided defeat against Arsenal.
Yeah, and they must feel...
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Lindsay. Well, lots of smiles coming from those Everton players, and rightly deserved. We could be talking about Arsenal, Farah, but let's say and talk about the fight, the resilience that this Everton team showed, and what a great goal, a big goal for a 16-year-old Izzy Hobson.
Yeah, I think that's it, Alex. You just summed it up there. I think Arsenal obviously, weren't at their best today. Everton defended really well, had a game plan, stuck to it. They was obviously gutted with Russo's goal in the 80th minute, but then this young kid comes on, 16 years of age, an Evertonian, and she wanted it more than anybody else. She rose above and made great contact, Hobson, to put it in and give her team a point, and nothing more than what they deserved, I felt, Anita.
Yeah, it's the delivery as well. Arsenal actually make the first contact, but she rose above Fox there, and you see that at the end of the day they wanted it more, and what a moment for a young player like Izzy Hobson to make her mark.
Yeah, really disappointing day for Arsenal and their fans. They are now 5 points behind Manchester City. We will be back next week as Arsenal will be travelling to Manchester City, who will look to extend their lead at the top of the WSL table. You can join us on BBC One for that one at a later time of 2:15. You two, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us at home. We'll see you then.
Arsenal are in here and looking dangerous. The crossbar has been rattled. Everton close to taking the lead. And Arsenal's frustrations continue. Blackstenius is there, and somehow Arsenal have failed to score. Mead, and finally it is in. Fox can't get it away, and it's in! And what a moment that is!